A lot to talk about in this final preseason game. Who did good, who did not look so good, who could potentially make the roster, and who have lost making the roster. That's what this video is all about. Shout out to you guys for subscribing to the channel. Hit 67,000 subscribers today. Milestone, thank you so much. Let's get into this game really quick here. We're just going to start with some of these players and go through them. Who was I impressed with? I got to say, yeah, you wouldn't expect it, but I say Jake Fromm was impressive to me. 6 for 8 for 89 yards, an average 11.1. He played really well, and I would love for him to at least make the practice squad. I think that is something that I'd love to see. He shows a good arm. I mean, just being here for a couple weeks and do what he did was a big positive to me. So I got to give shout out to Jake Fromm over there doing his thing. And that's really all you can ask for, right? Is these guys that are trying to make a team. That's what he's trying to do. He's an extra arm, but he goes out there and does well. He throws well. He's got a nice spiral. At least make him practice squad material, in my opinion. Hendon Hooker is 12 for 20, 114 yards, an average of 5.7, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 5 sacks for 29 yards, a quarterback rating of 71.7. He ran, though, for 10 carries, 93 yards. Hendon Hooker is a developmental quarterback, and he shows what he can do with his ceiling. His ceiling is immense, right? This guy is athletic. He can get first downs with his legs like it's nothing, but he needs a little bit work in the passing game. He needs development. It doesn't mean he sucks. It doesn't mean he's horrible. It means he just needs development. But I must say, from what I saw from Hendon Hooker today, is I would love to see him have said plays, a specific amount of plays, maybe 1 or 2 a game. Situational, 3rd and 1, you got to get a first down. Run play. This guy has got wheels, and I think the Lions can utilize that. They can utilize his legs a little bit, and something that they have as a weapon going forward. Sudfeld did not play in the game. It looks like he is going to be quarterback 2 for the Detroit Lions, and Hooker is going to be 3. And or just it depends how they put it, but that's kind of what I see right now. Like, they could release Sudfeld, but then bring him right to the practice squad. I doubt that. I think since he didn't play, he's going to be the backup quarterback. What do you guys think about this? Who do you want as backup quarterback? Do you want Nate Sudfeld, Hendon Hooker, or Jake Fromm? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But Hendon Hooker, he's got the wheels. He just needs a little bit of development as passing. The problem, what I saw from him is early on, is he was holding on to the football way too long. You got to be able to throw it quick. But it's hard to adjust sometimes what you're seeing, because the Steelers are playing their 1s against our 3s during the game. And so that's intriguing. Obviously, the fumble that occurred too. Bad offensive line play on some of the times with Hendon Hooker, because there was some bad offensive line play, but the second half of the game, the offensive line I felt like was a strength of this football team. They were really starting to maul out there. Another winner for me is Maurice Alexander, 4 receptions, 60 yards. He had a really good game, in my opinion. He was jumping in the air. He was catching everything. He was giving some spark on the offense. I don't think he makes the team, but he tried the best that he can do. He really did. Let me do a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's stream. That's Game Time. Folks, if you like saving money and going to games, say Sunday Night Football at Ford Field, Lions, Rams, go to Game Time. They have killer deals, last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed, and you can stop stressing and start getting hype for the fun that you're going to have. It is easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area, whether that's sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, or whatever. Their lowest price is guaranteed. That is the Game Time guaranteed, which means you're always getting the best prices, and if you find tickets in the same area section or less, Game Time is going to credit you 110% of the difference. You can get exclusive flash deals for tickets for football, baseball, basketball, concerts, and more. And in the middle screenshot, by the way, a fantastic feature of the app. It shows you where your seat is, and if you move your phone left to right, you can see the surrounding area like a 3D live photo. So download Game Time, plug in Chat Sports, and you're going to get $20 off your very first purchase. Again, download Game Time, go to the redeem code section, plug in Chat Sports. You're going to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms to apply. You have to create an account. You got to have an email to save that money. The link is going to be in the comments section and description of this stream. If you are buying Lions tickets this year, make sure you're using Game Time. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. All right, back to this game here, and some other players. Jalen Calhoun was 2 receptions, 37 yards. He showed some flasher, average of 18.5. I don't think he's making the roster. And let's get to the wide receivers here. Who did good? Isaiah Williams was great. He did a lot of special teams. He showed his flashies, juke. I think he makes the roster. He has just shown too much talent for me to put somebody else on there. Darius Fountain and Donovan Peoples-Jones are not going to make this roster. They don't deserve to make this roster. Donovan Peoples-Jones couldn't catch anything. Same with Darius Fountain. There was just no connection there. The Lions are going to have to find their wide receiver, 4 or 5, whatever you want to call it. It's going to have to be via trade, or it's going to have to be when cuts are made. That is what's going to happen with that other wide receiver. Nobody stood out. So they could go 6 receivers or 5 receivers, but none of the guys besides Isaiah Williams, none of the other guys should be making this team as of right now. I just don't believe so. And so I think it's going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Khalif Raymond, Isaiah Williams, and then they find somebody else on another roster. That's just the best way to go. Let's get into the tight end position. There's been a battle going on with James Mitchell and Shane Zylstra. Shane Zylstra won the battle, in my opinion. I think he is going to be tight end 3. James Mitchell showed nothing. He dropped a pass. He wasn't fast. Shane Zylstra was 4 for 29, averaged 7.3, targeted 5 times. He made every opportunity that he could make, and that's what you have to do in the situations like this. So when I look at the tight end battle, James Mitchell, adios. Shane Zylstra in for the Detroit Lions. We look at the Lions defense. Ty Summers, he had a total of 9 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 3 solo, tackles for loss 2, quarterback hits of 2. Our linebackers are really good, and I think that he is a practice squad guy. Ty Summers showed me that he can make this team on the practice squad. Not as a 53, but he would be a great guy to develop. I've seen him now, and he's just shown a lot of progress. He does. Stephen Gilmore played horrible. He got burnt one time for a touch or near touchdown. He got burnt again, but the player was out of bounds. He will be a practice squatter. He's not going to make the team. Isaac Ukwu with a sack and fumble. That was really good for him. Him and Mitchell Agut are going at it. And James Houston. James Houston got a sack as well. So James Sacks had a total of 9 tackles, 1 solo, 1 sack. So who gets that final spot for edge? I don't know. It's so hard to tell. I think all 3 right there, Mitchell Agut, Isaac Ukwu, and James Houston are all in that bunch. I don't know who will get that spot. I don't know at this point. It's going to be really tough to find out. Really, really tough. Jake Bates, he missed 1 field goal, but he made the rest and the extra points. Good for him. He corrected a mistake that he made early on. He missed a easy field goal, but he made the extra points. He made the field goal. Lions win because of that. So he's going to be the Lions kicker. That's it. We still struggle with kickoffs. Kickoffs. What can the Lions do there? They have not been playing Jack the Goat Fox and kickoffs. They've not been doing that. So Jake Bates is going to have to get better there. Still some issues in coverage. I thought it was better in this game, but there's still some issues there, but we've seen progress, and that's good. Special teams, you just want to see progress, this new rule, and what they can do. A lot of good plays right there. And Khalif Raymond has been the punt and kick returner. Well, if they use him more as a receiver, maybe sometimes they could use Isaiah Williams at that spot as well. But there's flexibility for kick and punt return. Lions defense, it's hard to tell in preseason week 3, but I felt like there's some players out there that stood out, and then there's players that stood out not so good, like Stephen Gilmore. That was something. C.J. Moore is battling right now to make the final safety spot. It's going to be between him or Brandon Joseph. I would have to give it to Brandon Joseph at this point. I think he's got the higher ceiling. That's personally the way that I would go. What do you guys think in the comment section? CJ Moore or Brandon Joseph? I just think Brandon Joseph brings more of the different element. He's younger, a little bit better. Trust him a little bit more. A lot of questions still for this team, and man, it's going to be interesting on cut day. It's going to be really interesting how they do this roster and how they operate here. All in all, for winner of this game, I've got asked this question in my live stream: who is the biggest winner of this game? Man, it's really tough. But you know what? Jake Fromm didn't have a chance to make this team at all. I don't think he makes the team, but maybe he makes the practice squad. So that's big there. Isaiah Williams, he could be the biggest winner. I think he makes the team after the performance there. Hendon Hooker is a pretty big winner, too, with his legs. He's still got development to go, but he's a winner. Losers, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Absolute loser in this. He did nothing. There's no justification for him to be on this team. And you say, oh, but you talked about, I thought he would step up this year. You know, we signed him this offseason. I thought he could step up. He has not shown anything of stepping up. And that's unfortunate because we needed the big body receiver. You know, we needed somebody to step up, but he didn't do it. Darius Fountain is a significant loser as well. He doesn't deserve to make the team because nothing happened right there. It's all about when the lights are on. What do you do when the lights are on? And that's a problem for some of these guys. So, but overall, Lions win the game. It doesn't matter about wins or losses. Good way to end preseason week 3. 2 weeks now till basically a little bit over 2 weeks till the regular season, and I can't wait to watch the Lions real first string and the real team now play. We get to see who makes the roster. With that said, folks, adios.